What's coming to Supreme? What are the new things coming to Supreme?
The PicCam is the latest technology there is in the world to take impression for implants.
This upcoming year, where are we going?
We're going to go to Singapore.
Singapore in May.
We're going to go to Greece.
Greece, Mykonos, Greece.
Mykonos, Greece.
In the near future, we want to start doing one-stage visits for certain procedures, and that's it.
Yes.
You don't come back after 6 months.
You get the surgery and the final prosthesis on the same visit. That's what we're pushing.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see what we can do with it to our patients. I'm excited for our patients.
I'm privileged to be working here and to have all these tools that make my job easier, and not just easier, more precise and more professional as well.
Do your research, guys. Do your research, please.
I truly, honestly, there's no better protocol that we're going to be managing for implants. No better protocol. Nothing is better than what we're about to do, to be honest.
Welcome back to Supremedental Podcast Studio. You can be anywhere else in the world right now, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that. My name is Frank Navarro. My wife and I are the owners of Supreme Dental Clinic. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Remember, this podcast was meant for you, the patient. And today we have Dr. Elias here. How you doing, Dr. Elias?
Doing great, Frank. How about you?
Not too bad. The year's about to close.
Great year.
We're getting to December. Great year. Yeah, great year. And we talked about many different things this year. We talked about, there's so many different things that we do, that you do the dental world, that different patients that we've seen, different accreditations that we have, just so many things. But one of the things that we have not talked about, it's about what's coming to Supreme. What are the new things coming to Supreme? And I want to take a moment to tell all of our patients, obviously there is a lot that we strive for, and obviously you guys know, most of you guys that follow us, and we thank you for that we have 8 international accreditations, and we work hard day in, day out to make sure that your smiles are perfect and special. Dr. Elias, as well as every other dentist that works here, works extremely hard, hand to hand with our lab, with our receptionists, with our assistants, to make sure that everything is perfect. But there's always something different. There's always something better. We're always cooking. Like when you have that dinner and you have that great feast, but then something else comes out that just makes that feast so much more special. And that's what we're cooking here at Supreme Dental. So Dr. Elias, I'm going to leave it now in your hands to explain to our patients what's soon to be here at Supreme, what the new technology that's coming, and how is that going to revolutionize not only Supreme, not only Los Algodones, but Mexico.
Well, first, I want to thank you and Aida, the CEOs of Supreme.
Thank you.
Because this special request, it was a request from Dr. Luis and I.
It was an expensive request.
That's the thing. It doesn't matter. What I really like about Supreme and about you guys is that the price doesn't matter if it makes sense, and if it's going to make our work better, if it's going to make our clinic better. You guys make it come true. And we came up with the idea. Luis and I had talked to Luis, and because Luis has been the strongest dentist here at Supreme for a long time. And I wanted his opinion. And we talked to you about what it was, what we wanted, and how it was going to make the work better. It's the PicCam. The PicCam is the latest technology there is in the world to take impression for implants. There's nothing better than that. That's the most precise impression taking device there is in the world. Everything that we do is going to cut time, it's going to cut errors, and it's going to make it better for us, the patient, and their experience as well.
When you said the most precise, what percentage are we talking about?
They say it's 99.9.
99.9% precise. And you guys can go online and you could actually go onto Google and put PIC dental, and you'll be able to see that they say it's 99.9%. the world's most accurate impression in the world.
Yeah, nothing better than that.
Nothing comes close.
No, nothing. I've used it in the past a couple of times. It's marvelous. It's great. It makes us and for the lab the work a lot easier, a lot cleaner as well. It's going to cut back times, as I mentioned, and it's going to cut back errors, and it's going to cut back everything that we didn't want to do in the past, and it's going to be better. We can take the impression right after the surgery or even during the surgery, and what it does is it's photogrammetry. So it picks up exactly the angles and the position of the implant that are inside the bone, and that's going to make the prosthesis fit passively. So it's going to prolong the life of that prosthesis because it's going to cut back on man-made errors when we take the impressions or when the lab runs the cast. And this is when we're going to bring it all together. We're going to bring in immediate loading, scanning, and the pick cam together, and it's going to make the work a whole lot better, precise, and easier for us and for the patients.
Talk to me about time. What's the time frame on something like this? Obviously, 99.9% precise, but what's the time frame? Does it take longer, or how does it work?
The scanning time takes about 30 seconds with the pick cam. Yeah, it's fast. It's fast. So what it does, it picks up these little flags that are going to go over the multi-unit abutments. It could be even less. It all depends on practice of the practitioner that's doing the recording. After that, we scan with the intraoral scanners for the tissues, and we send that to the lab. If we add the immediate loading when we already have the vertical dimension of the patients.
On the first stage.
On the first stage, that is correct. And then that and pictures, in theory, we should be able to deliver the work in around 3 days. From the impression, the second day, that's when the lab works.
Second stage in 3 days.
That is correct.
You know, I've heard that in Cancun, it takes up to 14 days. Here, we are looking at, what do we normally take right now? 5-6 days?
5-6 days.
So pretty much cutting everything in half, but being 99.9% accurate. When in medical, is there something that's 99.9% accurate?
It's virtually impossible. I mean, and we're not cutting corners.
That's crazy.
We're just using the latest technologies and everything together.
How do you think that this is a game changer for, I mean, obviously not, you as a doctor, obviously it's a game changer to you because you take away like 2 days of you taking impressions, doing tests, you know, putting it pretty much in your hands and in the lab hands to see what's the best for the patient. This is actually going to let you know what's the best for the patient.
That is correct. Yeah. If we add the more information we can actually gather through pictures, through scans with the pick cam, we're going to be able to deliver and have a better understanding of what teeth we're looking for, the shape, the size, everything that's going to be better for our patients. The way we do it, it's the facial generated dental treatment. Out of the patient's face, that's how we know where the teeth should be. We know the length of the teeth and the shape of the teeth. Sometimes you're walking down the street and you look at a person and you're like, hey, their smile is beautiful, but you don't know why, right? That's because their face pretty much makes sense with the shape and the size of their teeth. I've had people, they come in and they're like, hey, you know what? I want long, square teeth, but their face is round, right? And try to talk to them that
makes no sense.
That makes no sense. Yeah, it's like you have a Tahoe, right, with 22-inch rims, and you own a small Chevy, and you want to put those tires on that car. They don't fit, but it looks good on the Tahoe. But there's a reason why it looks good on the Tahoe.
Welcome to Dental Facts. Did you know that many diseases are linked to oral hygiene, including heart disease, diabetes, and osteoporosis? You heard it first at Supremedental Podcast. Floss, brush, and keep smiling.
So we bring this all together, and we can deliver better work, more precise, and everything's just better.
So there's patients, there's patients that actually come in and bring a picture and say, I want teeth like this. But it's not one size fits all. It's going to look different on you. And it makes perfect sense because we've had some patients that have had a full mouth restoration done at other clinics. And then they come down and they say, I just don't like them. And it's because either they went with whatever the patient was telling them about, or they picked wrong or whatever it was. Because so it has to do with pretty much your face. It has to do with that. That's very interesting that you say that when you're walking down and you see someone, and it's true, because you're like, wow, their teeth are very beautiful, and it just clicks. It just clicks how that patient looks with it. Looks very natural. It just clicks.
Yeah. That's how it works. Sometimes it's not as easy just to talk to the patient on how that works, but when you show them actual pictures, and with the technology that we have here, we can actually put their face, we can do a smile design, and we can show them why that works or why that wouldn't work.
Okay.
But yeah, we're really excited about the pick cam, about the new protocol that's gonna come.
Yeah.
It's gonna be coming up with us.
I'm very excited about the training.
So am I.
Because the training, if I'm not mistaken, the Pick Dental has an office. Their main office is in Spain. I believe it's in Madrid.
Mm-hmm.
And then their second office, a lot smaller office in Florida. So they're going to be people from Spain and from Florida coming down for 3 days of 8 hours each, just 24 hours worth of training that we're going to have to do so we could perfect on how to use this device. Pretty much they say, we will not sell you the device if you do not purchase the training, because it don't matter if you have this device. It's like having a stick shift and you don't know how to drive it. Then you're going to have a lot of hiccups, and they don't want you to have those hiccups and ruin the reputation that this company has of everything. Even the commercial, and I didn't have the book, and we didn't have the book. We really wanted to show you guys the book. And maybe George right now that's on his phone could take a look at he could put the clip. I think it's like about a minute clip, or it's the welcome. They sent us a book. It's like a little letter. Okay, it's very thin, and you open it up, and it has an LCD screen inside, and a video starts playing. It was something like an Iron Man or something like that. It scared me when I opened it at home, and it was like, yay, and then people started clapping. I was like, what the? and it was awesome, and you get charged and everything, and there's many doctors from different parts of the world, and not just any doctors, world-renowned doctors that are saying how this new technology has not just revolutionized their practice in the way that they do things and how fast it is, but also the results for their patients. So how do you think that's going to revolutionize algodones? Because everybody in algodones, actually algodones is a very fast-paced place. But how do you think that can revolutionize what we're here in this part of Mexico? Because you said you've seen someone else in Mexico really utilize this correctly.
Yeah.
Because people could have it in different parts of Mexico, but one thing is utilizing it.
Yeah, I just know of one doctor that really pushes it to the limit.
And you're talking about taken their picture. You're talking about, scanning them with the Pick Dental. You're talking about using their immediate loads if possible. You're talking about using scan bodies for other things to be able to scan. So you're talking about so many different things that some people would just use the Pick Dental, but you want to use everything else to just make it as perfect as possible.
And that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of working here, that I'm privileged. I'm privileged to be working here and to have all these tools that make my job easier, and not just easier, more precise and more professional as well. I'm delighted that we're going to be able to work with this technology, and that it makes sense to you, and you're like, hey, you know what? Green light, let's go for it. I truly believe this from the heart. I told you before. Having the immediate loads, having the cameras that we have, having the scanners that we have, having the pick cam that we have, I think our protocol can compete with the best institutes in the world. Not just the US, in the world. I think the protocols that we're about to engage onto, with the techniques that we use, with the training that we have, with the technology that we have, with the pick cam, I truly, honestly, there's no better protocol that we're going to be managing for implants. No better protocol. Nothing is better than what we're about to do, to be honest.
Now, there's going to be a lot of shadow, and there's going to be a lot of hatred coming from different clinics that don't have this technology. and as there is, and as we've seen from many different things, and they're gonna say, oh no, that doesn't really work, or whatever it is. Do your research, guys. Do your research, please. It's actually the Pecos Institute, which is one of the tops in the United States. It's in Florida, right? Based off of Florida.
Yes.
We were watching a video, and while we were watching oh my gosh, I forgot what it's called. Oh my gosh, but I got it. I don't remember. What is it called?
The Patsy Protocol.
The Patsy Protocol. Ooh, I get an F right now. But the Patsy Protocol, which talks about the nasal fluorides, the transnasal fluorides, and then the pterygoid implants. When we were watching that video, we seen them using the PIC cam. And you stop the video and you say, what do you guys see here?
Yeah.
And we were like, it was me, Luis, and Alonzo was there too. And we were like, well, you see this. And you're like, no, the thing is that they're using the PIC cam. And then I tell you, no, let's bring it back a little bit. And I was like, what do you guys see here? And you were like, they're using the PIC cam. No, I said, they're using the wired one. And we got the wired.
That's true.
That's the thing that I seen.
Yeah.
And big shout outs to Pecos Industry, keep on Pecos Institute, keep on doing your thing. You guys, there's so many different institutes and so many different things in the world that we see, and studies that you guys follow, and you guys let me know about that, because that's a whole different dental world, and you guys stay on top of that, and that's awesome. And that's what the patients that come in here and that talk to you guys, and that get to talk to me, that get to get treated by you guys, understand that and fall in love with you guys, because they're like, my doctor just came back from Spain, and my doctor was talking with Dan Holzclaw, which is, one of the top guys about pterygoids, or that has books that you've been reading, or, and there's so many, and you talk to other dentists that they go to another clinic. It could be anywhere. They could be anywhere in Mexico or in the United States. And unless they're paying extremely, extremely high dollar, they're not going to get that. I was in a wedding, last year, and you know about that, and shout out to Vince, Fred and Tony. I went to his wedding, him and his wife, and I sat right next to a dentist. He sat me a chair away from a dentist, and this is a very fancy wedding in Scottsdale. And once the guy gets a little bit of drinks in his system, he's an older guy, probably in his 60s, and we're sitting next to a gentleman, I forgot his name, but he's taking pictures of, like, he just did a documentary, I think, with Mark Cuban, from Shark Tank.
Yeah.
I think he's the owner of the Mavericks.
The Dallas Mavericks.
Okay. And he's amazing too. But he asks us something about fluoride. It's just a basic question that anybody can have an opinion. Because you're pretty much giving your opinion on it. Because, it's not scientifically proven. You could go both ways, And if that really works or if it doesn't. And I remember he asked both of us. And I said, well, you answer. And he answered. And then when I answered, he came back and the dentist came back at me. He's like, well, I don't think you should be asking him because he's not a dentist. And my wife, I could see her on the side of my eye right here. And I could just see her in the corner of my eye. And she's just like, turns at me like, what are you going to do? And like everything at the table just stays quiet. And we have someone across from us that's like, he's a great realtor, and they're talking about how they rent airplanes and with his wife, and the whole shebang, right? Great food, great atmosphere. And I look at him, and I look at the gentleman who's been with Mark Cuban, and I say, well, you know what? You're right. I'm not a dentist, because at no point during any podcast I've said that I'm a dentist. And I tell him, you know what? It's I can't, I'm not a dentist. I never said I was a dentist, but this is my opinion on it. And I base my opinion off of 8 dentists that I have. And I have some dentists that have specialties, and I have some dentists that have master's degrees. And I have dentists that have been to different parts of the world, from Spain to Harvard University. I base myself off of 8 different opinions. I said not just of one. And I tell him, have you ever heard about the pig dental? And he had no idea. And I said, that's why you've been retired for over 5 years. And I said, so nothing against him, but, you know, it's my opinion.
Yeah.
And he got up and he left and he didn't come back. And just like my sweater says, and shout out to Jeffree Star, you know, we got this one when we went to Wyoming to meet him. You know, you got to be yourself. You know, don't try to be someone else. I never try to be a dentist. I never try to say, well, you know what? Well, you know, if you go into the sigoma bone, you know, it's pretty dense. But no, I don't. Because if I know about it, it's because of you guys, or because I was not researching what I normally research, and I want to have some free time, and I want to get a little bit more into knowing our product, and our product is dental. So I'm excited about this new technology, because when you guys told me about it, I called different clinics in Beverly Hills, and at the time I believe only one clinic had it in Beverly Hills, and I believe it was like a celebrity clinic. So it's something that is extremely revolutionary. It's something that I was scared about, but I was excited about. And when I called, it was mostly like, let's see what this is all about. And the more I digged into it, the more I found out great things about it. And you guys were all about it. And then when I told you guys it's placed, and then when 2 weeks ago, when they left it outside my house, like if it was a sweater from Baby Gap or something, and no signature or anything, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see what we can do with it to our patients. I'm excited for our patients. I'm excited. How many times have our patients been here and they look at the technology that we have and they're just like, wait, are you scanning my mouth?
Yeah, we get that a lot. Can I take a picture?
Yeah, can I take a video of that? You're scanning my mouth right now and I could see it on a laptop. And what are you going to do with it? Well, you're going to send it to the lab and they're going to start doing your teeth. What? You know, what do you mean you can do all these crowns in 3 days? What are you talking about? You know, and I think a lot of our patients out there, you know, do your research, because wherever you're from, you know, there's great dentists, but there's a lot of great dentists here in Mexico also. And there is extremely, extremely talented individuals here that work at Supreme Dental. And that's why they are here at Supreme Dental. And it's like a brotherhood here at Supreme Dental, because everybody, it's crazy, because I could talk about it all day and people won't believe it until they see it, is how you guys help each other out. And this new technology, you guys are all excited about it. So the pig dental's coming. It's going to be revolutionary. It's going to be faster process for you to do. It's going to be more, it's 99.9% precise. And the patient's going to walk out with teeth that are going to be like, wow, those teeth were meant for you.
Yeah, that's what we want.
Not one size fits all.
Yeah, we don't want stock teeth. We want individualized, personalized teeth for each and every of our patients.
And I know the podcast normally runs a different times. You know, we're running a little bit out of time here, but pig dental is only one of the things that we're getting so far. We're also going to have our own CAT scan within 2-3 weeks.
Yes,
it's coming in, and that's going to help a lot with pterygoid implants. That obviously, it's also something that is huge, because you're able to give somebody perhaps immediate loading or permanent loading from the get-go.
Yeah.
We're working on other things. There's also a Botox center coming up that it will have his own podcast with Dr. Sarai when it's ready to go, that she just came back from. First it was, help me out, Colombia, and then it was Brazil. She just came back from Brazil. So we're not just doing this across the street. And that's what really bugs me, man, is when I see other clinics that are trying to say they're so much better, and they go like across the street for a training. Like here in Algodones, they go to a training here. You guys are like waking up at crazy hours to get an airplane from Mexicali, which is one of the smallest airports you'll ever go to, except if you go to Yuma first. And then after that, you have to literally, it's those type of airports that you actually have to walk up on the airplane. Like you're not tunneled into the airplane. So if you're doing carry on, it sucks. And then and you got to fly to Mexico City perhaps, and then you got to fly from there for I don't know how many crazy hours across the world to somewhere else. And you're completely jet lagged. You got like a day to get yourself together, a day and a half at most, and then you're at the training. And then after the training, and it's done. It's probably Friday. It's time to pack up and fly all day Saturday, Sunday, and be here to work on Monday.
Yep.
And patients sometimes still come in and say, but my doctor at home told me you can do it. My doctor at home told me that was the best. And they don't even have digital x-rays. Like George was
digital x-rays. Digital x-rays.
George has this great idea. And we're going to really try to run with it in this upcoming year of doing documentaries. Because George wants to do documentaries. Mm-hmm. And I really just think he wants to get into their house. So that kind of scares me. But he wants to do documentaries on when you guys go on these trainings, what is it like? So patients can see, you know, you guys are waking up, you guys are getting ready, you guys are going to the airport, you guys are at the airport, you're flying all these crazy hours. Now you guys arrived. What is it like this upcoming year? Where are we going?
We're going to go to Singapore.
Singapore in May.
We're going to go to Greece.
Mykonos, Greece.
Mykonos, Greece.
And that's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
So you're going to be in Singapore, Mykonos, Greece. Unfortunately, my wife and I are also going to have to go to Dubai. And it's very unfortunate. You know, nobody wants to go to Dubai. I've heard it's ugly and there's nothing much to do. But we're going to be at Dubai also representing Supreme at Asia's biggest dental conference that there is, convention that there is. And looking at whatever new technologies out there and see what we can bring back from over there, you know. Been doing I would love to be doing a lot of FaceTime with you guys, but it's probably going to be like midnight for you guys or 3 a.m. So probably Dr. Luis, because I don't think he sleeps.
He never sleeps. He's probably at the clinic right now.
I think he's a robot. So, you know, we have all those things coming. And obviously you thank us a lot, my wife and I. We thank you guys a lot because you guys push us to the next level also. We wouldn't know about a lot of these things if it wasn't for you guys. And sometimes you guys do say, well, let's do this. And I have to tell you guys, are we going to do it or not?
Yep.
And then you guys are like, yeah, let's do it. And it works out and we keep on moving forward. And it's been a game changer for many, many patients. In the near future, we want to start doing 1-stage visits for certain procedures. And that's it.
Yes.
You don't come back after 6 months.
You get the surgery and the final prosthesis on the same visit. That's what we're pushing.
That's what we're pushing. We have like 30 seconds, but in the next episode that we're going to do, we're going to talk about the implant that Luis and yourself, mostly you, helped design this new implant all the way to Israel. And hopefully we get a clip from the CEO of that company saying what it was like. So very proud to be part of Supreme. Very proud for you to be part of Supreme.
Yes, I am. Thank you.
And we'll see you next time here at Supreme Dental Podcast. Don't forget this podcast was meant for you, the patient. And keep on smiling.